Hello people! So today's video is going to be my current go-to night out makeup routine. It's quite in depth as well. I'm going to go into a lot of detail with everything that I'm doing. Obviously this is the finished makeup look and I've just used a lot of my kind of go-to and holy grail products in this video. So if you are interested in seeing this whole look, be sure to give the video a thumbs up and just keep watching. Okay, so before I start with any makeup or anything, I just wanted to go through a bit of like skincare. So obviously before I go on a night out or anything, I usually do a face mask and all that kind of stuff. Obviously just if you're going on a night out, I would recommend doing a face mask. It just kind of, I feel like it just kind of preps the skin and it just makes it feel a lot more kind of plump and just healthy. I just find that anyway. If you don't like using face masks, just with washing your face and stuff, obviously wash your face before you do your makeup. I just wanted to quickly just mention the two that I think are best for kind of prepping for going on a night out or something like that. So the first one I would go in with is this one right here. This is by the brand Philosophy and it's the Purity Face Wash. It's a 3-in-1 cleanser. You can use it on your face and for your eyes as well. This is really good because it will remove any excess makeup that you've got on. I use this every single night. It's really gentle and I feel like no matter how sensitive your skin is, this is like the perfect kind of face wash and cleanser for you because it's so soft and gentle on the skin. I would literally give this to anyone to use because it's just really soft, but it cleans your skin really nicely as well. So like I said, I use this every single night. The cleanser that I really have to go in with as well is the one from Biore. I've talked about this before on my channel. I've been using this for years and I've still love it. The Free Your Pores Charcoal Pore Cleanser. I love using this, especially on my nose. It just gets rid of like any like blackheads and stuff that you've got going on. Gives you a good deep clean and I will literally put this everywhere. I wash my hair really, so every 2 to 3 days whenever I wash my hair, I will use this. And I definitely have to use before going on a night out because it's good and it'll just clean you very well. When it comes to skincare and stuff like prepping your makeup before going on a night out, what I like to do is I do my skincare and then I will prime my skin, do all that after once I've done my eyeshadow because I am someone that does not like to do the face first, especially on a night out, just in case of any mistakes, any fallout. I am always late for anything, so I do not have time to redo my face makeup, so I got nothing on. So the first thing I'm just going to go in with, it's nothing too much, it's literally just 2 things. So the first thing is my moisturizers. This is the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Gel Cream. I feel like this is kind of something that everybody knows now, but obviously do not be using any products that have SPF in when you're going on a night out. Like absolutely nothing. No foundation, no moisturizer. Powders is a different thing we're going to talk about as well when we get to that. That contains SPF, especially for a night out. If you didn't know, it gives you flashback, which is when you get that white cast when taking flash photography. So we don't want that, so stay away from SPF because obviously I would put on an SPF underneath my base makeup. That's what I do every single day. But obviously every single day on my day-to-day life I don't take flash photography photos of my face, so it's fine, I just protect my skin. But as far as nights out goes, oh, I think I was going to put an eye cream on, but I think I'm going to do that after because just in case I have any fallout, I'm going to use a wipe under my eyes. So we're not going to do anything else for now. We're just going to move on to eye makeup. Basically, the reason I'm doing this whole video is, one, because I love watching these kind of night out looks and I feel like I haven't done one kind of like what I would wear. I feel like I haven't done one in a while. So yeah, this is just kind of like using my current night out holy grail. So moving on to eyes, I am going to go ahead and do one eye off camera, but I just want to prime my eyes just on camera with you people. So I'm going to be using the PLouise eyeshadow base as I always do now. And then I also use this brush to carve out my brows as well, just to clean them up a little bit. Okay, so there we go, we're all primed. I'm not going to set my eyelid, but I will be back in a moment and I will show you the finished eye look and then we'll go ahead and do it together. Okay, I have returned and yeah, I just ended up doing something very warm, obviously, but I wanted to just kind of keep something a bit smoky just in the outer corner, and it's all actually matte all over the lid except from the inner corner and the brow bone. So the first palette that I used, I did go in with the Morphe Armed and Gorgeous palette. this one right here, I literally just used the yellow and that is it. So literally any yellow eyeshadow you have will be absolutely fine. You don't have to use this palette, I'm just using it because I like that yellow in the palette. I am quickly just going to prime my other eye. Like I just said, the only shade that I used from this Armed and Gorgeous palette is the yellow shade Access. So this shade, I just used it as literally the only transition colour because there's this and then the red and that is it. That's all that we're putting in the crease. The shade I am using is, again, like I said, just use any eyeshadows that you have similar colours to this, but I'm just taking my Inglot palette. This is just like a magnetic little palette and it's just like a make your own kind of palette, so you can't get this already set like that. You have to buy all the individual eyeshadows. It's just kind of one of those. It's kind of like my Z palette where you just obviously make your own, and I just use this red shade here. It has got a bit of like shimmer in it, like a bit of glitter, but once you just like dip your brush in and then once you like tap the brush off once, you ain't got any glitter on your eye. So yeah, I'm gonna pack this all from the outer corner, and this is going to be like one of the heaviest shades that we use kind of here, just kind of before we add in the black. So I did go in with this quite a lot because again, it's very buildable. It's not super pigmented, but that's what I like about these Inglot ones, is that you can really build them up the edges just to make sure it's all blended. I like my brow bone using, oh no wait, okay, that was a lie. I did use another shade from here and I just realised I used another one after. But basically I used the shade VIP, which is like my favourite inner corner highlight. It's so nice. And then I mixed a bit of this Guilt Trip shade, which is the gold, and that's what I applied on the inner corner. But I'm just going to apply VIP just on the brow bone, and then I'm going to mix the two for the inner corners. Ooh. I'm going to cut the crease now. I'm just going to clean off the brush. I'm going to use it then to just kind of drop it. Blend the red shadow just into the concealer, just so there's no harsh line. I always do this, it's like the best thing to do. While that's drying a little bit, I'm going to take some of the red on a really tiny brush, and I'm going to use this to define the crease. Inglot palette, I'm just going to take this peachy shade here, settle the concealer, go back in with the yellow from the Jaclyn Heal palette. I'm going to apply this on the lid, just there, and this is just going to help blend. I'm going to go in with the red again, this one again from the Inglot palette. It's nicely blended into the yellow. Went in with a little bit of this orangey brown shade. He popped this just after the yellow. Do the inner corner. So again, I'm going in with the VIP shade, which is this one, and then adding a bit of the gold on top. I'm going to go in with some liner, so I'm going to be using my e.l.f. little pot. Sit on the back of my hand. It's like a gel pot, it's gone a tiny bit dry, so I'm going to use a bit of the Inglot Duraline. I finally got hold of this. So good. You can literally use, I tested it with like a Colourpop Super Shock shadow and I made it into an eyeliner, so I love it. It just makes it into like a little liquid, as you can see, so it's a lot easier to work with. So I'm doing my eyeliner as normal, and I am going to kind of wing it out and make it a bit thicker from the outer edges. Just took a really tiny brush like this and just started to kind of tap in the edges, and then I took the black from my Inglot palette. Obviously just use any black that you have, kind of buff and blend the edges. So there you have it, that is that all done. Just kind of buffed out the edges, and then I just used a bit of the red again just to blend everything out and just kind of blow it out just kind of at the end. The eyeshadow pretty much all done. Okay, I've returned. The lashes are on. I used the House of Lashes Iconic Light eyelashes instead. These were so much easier to put on than the other ones, the Lovable lashes. These are so much easier, and I feel like for a night out these are a bit more appropriate. So we're going to move on to the skin now, which is my favourite part of doing makeup. A bit of eye cream just before I do my makeup. The Tarte Maracuja C Brightener Eye Treatment. I'm going to use this one for today. Just apply this underneath my eye. Stuff. So I'm just gonna... So moving on to primer. I will either use... I have like two Holy Grail like favourite primers that I'll go to. Like I'll go back and forth with. So my first one is the Becca First Light Priming Filter, but it's the purple one obviously, and this, I love it. It gives you a really nice dewy glowy look. But for today I just want to use this one, which is the Smashbox Primerizer. My foundation cocktail for today, I like my usual, but I'm going to go in with the Nars Natural Longwear Radiant Foundation in Barcelona. This is not my favourite foundation, it's my favourite for going out because it's full coverage but it still looks like skin when you're wearing it, but it still gives you a full coverage and it's radiant and it is long wearing as well. So yeah, this is literally my perfect night out foundation, but I do kind of switch up between this one and my Dior one, which is my favourite foundation, the Dior Skin Forever. Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk is also a good one as well. For my little cocktail today, I'm going to add a few pumps into my glass dish. I'm going to add what I usually do on a night out. I usually add some of this Niod Photography Fluid. This just makes your skin look really nice in photos. This is like the tanned one. It's like a bit of a bronzy kind of colour. Liquidize everything, make it a bit more nicer. I'm going to add a bit of the Tarte Maracuja oil just in there as well. Take any foundation brush. This is just the opposite side of my concealer one that I use, and I'm just going to paint my face with it. I do like to blend it out with my sponge, so I'm going to use my Sport FX sponge. Just spray my sponge with some setting spray. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter. And as you can see, this is like the perfect amount of coverage that I like. It's not too much where it just looks really cakey and doesn't look like your skin. It's just literally like the perfect amount. I don't apply any more foundation where you feel like you need to. I'm not going to, because I'm going to apply some concealer to give me a tiny bit more coverage where I want to. Pick out of the two, I'm going to use both. So I'm going to use my Tarte Shape Tape in Tan Sand, which is a bit darker, and this is just going to cover up my dark circles. And then I'm going to go in with my Jouer High Essential Coverage Foundation Concealer, whatever it's called, in Creme Brulee. I don't know what I'm doing. Before I set my under eyes and my face, pretty much, we're just going to use some cream contour. So I'm going to use the Sosu by Suzanne Jackson contour stick in Warm. Love this. It's quite natural because I don't like a really harsh contour. I just like something like that. It's the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops in Moonlight. Before I do my liquid highlight, I just want to bake. I can never get that equal. Okay. I'm just going to start off with a tiny bit and just do like 3 little drops. A little dual fibre brush. This is from Morphe. It's the M429. Set my under eyes in place, so I'll talk to you about it in a minute. As I was saying about powder, so basically when you're going on a night out, but obviously that aren't aware, but if you are going on a night out, you do not want like a HD powder, because like I was saying about flashback and stuff before, anything with SPF is going to give you flashback. So when it comes to powder, give it a Google and try and find some good powders for you that do not give flashback. But I've got a few here that I literally love. These are some of my favourite powders ever to use. So the first one is the Blend loose powder from Vichy. That's the one that I've used now to set to my face. This is just really good. It's really finely milled, so once it's on your skin, like it will just, like if I just show you now, it will just melt right into your skin and just look how airbrushed my under eyes look. It is literally one of the best powders I've ever used. The other one is obviously the RCMA No Colour powder. This again is really good for not giving flashback. I feel like if you're someone with fairer skin, this is probably going to be a bit better for you, because for me personally, I find that this leaves a bit of a white cast. Like when I will bake with it or when I apply under my eyes, it will just brighten it. If you like that, then this is going to be a really good powder for you, but I just don't use it that much because I don't like the white cast. I don't like a really bright under eye. Powder, which was my holy grail but now it's my Blend powder, is the Beauty Bakery Flower Powder. This, if you have really oily skin, this is probably one of the best powders that you can get. It's not going to give you any flashback. It literally makes your skin look like it has a filter on in photos. And yeah, you can get different shades. I use the yellow one just to use under my eyes and to set my face, but this is very matte and it's quite heavy, so if you are really oily, like I said, this is going to be a good powder for you. So I added a bit of eyeshadow underneath the lower lash line. Then I'm just going to take my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder. This is Luminous Light, and I'm just going to pop this everywhere. Just dust this everywhere. Obviously not in my oily areas, but I will literally just this there. I usually apply it over like my bronzer, like the cream product that I've applied. Because of cream contoured, I don't want to go in with anything too heavy, so I'm just going to use my Be Bold bronzer, just the middle shade, to spray the face. So I'm going to use my Mario Badescu spray first, and then I'm going to go in with my Morphe one. I've got my Amrezy highlight from Anastasia. It's my favourite highlighter ever. I cannot go on a night out and not wear this. I'm just going to add some brow gel on, so I'm just going to use my Rimmel Brow This Way Clear Brow Gel. Big Guilt Trip from the Jaclyn Hill Armed and Gorgeous palette. And I'm gonna bring that. Oh, that is such a nice gold. Just going with blush, I'm gonna be using the Luminoso blush from Milani. This is one of my favourites. Finishing touch is to set the face properly. I just used a facial spray before and then I like to set it again. So I'm gonna use the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. So I couldn't find what I was looking for, and that's a bit of a worry. I was going to use my LA Girl Cafe Lip Liner because that's like my favourite. My Urban Decay Naked 2 Lip Liner. The main part of the lips, I did want, again, something just matte. I don't or anything like that, so I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Liquid Lipstick in Stripped. This is one of my favourite nudes in the entire world. And that is the end of the video, guys, so thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. I know this video was quite long, I'm sorry. It's an in-depth tutorial on this whole look. So yeah, let me know kind of what your favourite products are for like going out. If you use any of these products, let me know, because I like to know what people's holy grails are and what they like to use. And thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!